Why are all these guys that changed the world got one thing in common? They're tough as nails.
There's a two-step process that saved me, that I hope will save you if you're feeling down and out and it's tough and you're not getting results.
Not enough people are willing to build that mental, emotional toughness.
If you had to keep track of 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, what you do. Mr. Carnegie was a hard bastard. Vanderbilt was a hard bastard. Henry Ford I was a hard bastard. Rockefeller was a hard bastard. Steve Jobs was a ruthless hard bastard. As Apple CEO, Cook regularly begins sending emails at 4:30 in the morning on Sunday. He's a hard bastard. Why are all these guys that changed the world got one thing in common? They're tough as nails. Ruthless. Take no prisoners. And then we got you. A stiff drink and a good can kill most people in this room. I'm ashamed to say. My proceeds for PayPal acquisition were 180 million, blah, 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 blah. Then I had to borrow money for rent. These guys, myself included, are all in. They believe in what they're doing. They put all their money at risk, which I have several times, not in recent years. SpaceX worker reveals a brutal company motto helped him survive all-nighters working for Elon Musk. The notorious workaholic Elon Musk is so tied to his office that he's been known to sleep on the floor. I slept on the floor. Ford slept on the floor. Jobs slept on the floor. Gates slept on the floor. Success leaves clues, you weenies. I still work 50, 60 hours a week. And I haven't had to work in 35 years.
Being an entrepreneur is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. Whether you go all in financially or not, you're going to go all in emotionally. And a lot of people, they can't cut it. They can't get the calluses fast enough, and so they quit. That's going to be one of the biggest tests for you as you get off and build your business. Do you have the mental fortitude to keep going, keep driving, keep building your business in the face of all obstacles? It's the ultimate endurance test. It's the ultimate test to see what you're made of. When I first started my company, I knew it was going to be hard, but didn't think it would be this hard. You never think it's going to be as hard as it actually is. I was making $300 a month. I turned down $100,000 a year, 6 figures, working for my dream job company to make $300 a month and own 30% of a company. I eat beans for lunch every day. The same bean salad for lunch, mixed beans with olive oil and herbs and garlic and salt and a little pepper, because it was cheap and it would fill me up. And when I wanted to splurge, I would go to the store and get the chunky Campbell's soup clam chowder. It was a little bit more expensive, would also fill me up. When we went to celebrate a win, we would go to McDonald's and get a McDonald's French fries, large fries, and share it between the 3 of us because that's what we could afford. Couldn't afford the whole meal. And even to this day, the smell of McDonald's French fries means victory for me. It's the most unhealthy thing in the world, but it still means victory for me. I made it even harder on myself in that I isolated myself and I didn't tell my friends that I was struggling. I had to pick one thing a month that I could go to. One friendly, social pizza and beer kind of thing per month. Because that $20 I didn't have, because I'm only making $300 a month. So I isolated myself. I turned inwards. I was too embarrassed and ashamed to tell my friends who were off making $80,000, $100,000 a year, starting salary at a university, and I'm making $300 a month. I was too embarrassed and ashamed. And so I told them, I'm hustling, I'm living the entrepreneur life, I'm grinding, but really, I was struggling. I had no idea what I was doing. This thing was tearing me apart. And it got to the point where I actually quit on my business partner. I told him I quit. It's easy to quit on something and not get results when you know that you're not putting in the effort. But I was putting in the effort every single day, showing up to my business partner's dining room table because everything else was too small in his place to fit us. Putting in the effort every single day, trying to build and grow this business, and it wasn't working. I felt worthless as a human. Like, why are we not getting results? When will we start to get results? And I was fed up and tired, and I told him I quit. Like, I need to find a way to be useful, to feel valuable as a human. And so I told him I quit. And then I woke up the next day and said I can't quit because I haven't given it everything that I've got. And so there's a two-step process that saved me, that I hope will save you if you're feeling down, out, and it's tough and you're not getting results. The first step is use regret to fuel you. I imagine my life at 100, looking back on this moment, saying, would I regret quitting? It's very rarely the things that you do that you regret, it's the things that you don't do. So would I regret not continuing? Would I regret not giving it my all? And I try to adopt the mantra that I would rather know and fail than not know. I would rather know and fail than not know. So I had to see this through. Even if the answer was total failure, even if it never worked out, I had to see it all the way through just to know, because otherwise that regret would eat me up. And so number one, use regret. When you're struggling, when it's not working out, when you're not getting results, imagine yourself being 100 years old looking back and saying, if you quit now, if you stop, if you don't keep going, will you regret it? It may mean just realities of survival. You have to go get a part-time job or even a full-time job to support yourself, but don't quit on your business. If you're going to regret it, don't quit on your business. You have to keep going. So that's number one. Use regret as fuel. Number two is model success. The next thing that saved me was I asked myself that next morning after I quit and then decided I need to go back because I can't live with regret. I asked myself, who has done this before? Who has built a software company up? I can't be the only person who's tried to do this. And I looked at Bill Gates, who started Microsoft, and not how he makes an extra $1 million now, but 0 to 1. How did he do that? How did that happen? I studied his success. I modeled his success. I applied it to my company, and pretty shortly got my first deal for $13,500. That may not seem like a lot of money, but to me back then, it was hitting the lottery. I'm making $300 a month. Now I just made a deal for $13,500. That was hope. That was real. That was putting the money in my bank account. That was being able to have a full meal at McDonald's. And more important, it gave me a model that I could do again and again and again. I closed another deal and another deal and another deal. And our business started to take off. And ever since, that was 20 years ago, I use the same two-step process. One, I don't want to live with regrets. If I'm afraid of doing something, if I'm feeling like I want to quit on something, if I need to muster extra strength, I use regret. Am I going to regret this? If I stop, will I regret it? Yes, I have to keep going. And then two, model success. Whenever I don't know what to do, whenever I'm struggling, I'm trying to find an answer, I'm getting into a new field, I ask myself, who has done this before that I can learn from? It's no surprise that the name of my YouTube channel is Modeling the Masters. But so many of the videos that I profiled is DJing other people's content and trying to learn from the people who've had the most success in the world. Because that's what saved my business. And hopefully that knowledge, that expertise, that wisdom can save yours as well.
I think sometimes we want an easy life. I think sometimes we want everybody to love us and buy from us. It's so easy, it's so great. It's all of a sudden, and we go, oh, my mom shouldn't treat me. She didn't tell me I was special. My dad didn't do this to me. My ex cheated on me. My ex did this, and this person did this, and my friend did this, and my boss, oh my gosh, this is why I'm losing. But those are all the reasons why you have a shot at doing something big with your life. Those are all the reasons. Those are all the reasons why you can use as an ammunition to say, boom, world, I'm coming. I'm going to do something big with my life. And no one expects it. So rather than looking at some of these tough times that you may be going through today and that you will be going through in the future, because depending on whatever age you are, you go from going to birthdays, to going to weddings, to going to birthday, kids being born, to going to kids' birthday parties, then you go to funerals. No matter what, we're all going to funerals eventually. If you haven't already started going to funerals, that's called life. And the sooner you anticipate tough times, and the sooner you overcome every single one of these tough times, that you think you're the only one that's going through it, one day you're going to look up, and people are going to look at you as an example of somebody who was tough enough to go through the difficult times, and now they're a leader winning big, and they one day want to be just like you. In 2010, I kind of called myself, I'm a meathead, I just lift weights and put them down. Right, I kind of painted myself into that corner. Why not go run a marathon? So I trained for 6 weeks and went and ran a marathon. It was the most painful thing I ever did, but I realized that was more the suffering and the pain. And the more pain I had, the more it put me into the zone of wanting to dominate. So it is a superpower. So
So I almost now go back and put myself into these challenges. Rock climbing, I was afraid of heights. Took on a 6-week challenge, started climbing rocks. Wanted to fight a professional MMA fighter, so I hired him, trained for 6 weeks, went in the ring and got my ass kicked and choked out. But each time I did that, it gave me the sense of I can get over any obstacle. If I can get over getting choked out and punched and the pain of 26.2 miles in a marathon, or overcoming my fear of heights, surely I can build a business. Surely I can take some criticism online, right? But not enough people are willing to build that mental, emotional toughness. And the moment they do, they'll persevere.